Hello and welcome to another one of my videos, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a podcast. Yes, I'm finally doing another podcast. I'm not the best at putting out the podcast. I said I'll do it every Friday, and it's kind of been semi-irregular depending on how busy I've been and on my mood. So before I get into it, if you do like my content, you know how to support me by now. You can do that by liking, commenting and subscribing. If you do want to click on an ad, it does help me out because it allows me to spend more time away from dealing and more time on YouTube and putting out information that is helpful for other people, i.e. other aspiring entrepreneurs, dealers, etc. You know, I've been there, I've done it. I can help you guys with it. So let's get into today's topic. So today's topic is to do with, are there trends in sovereigns? I've been noticing something recently, and I actually asked the opinion of one of my customers who lives abroad. And I said to him, I was like, I'm noticing a clear trend between people gravitating towards certain sovereigns. Now, shields are a given. People have always gone for shields. You can't go wrong with shields. Even dealers sell to me over spot for shields. I can't get away from it. I tend to pay £20 over spot for a shield. So the rule of thumb is I pay 20 over and I charge 50 over. That tends to be the rule of thumb. The young heads, again, they're getting harder and harder to come across. Now, I spoke to the gentleman I spoke to yesterday. He's in Ireland, and he ended up buying a couple of sovereigns. And he's like, do you have any VIX? And I said to him, I just want your opinion. I was like, people keep asking me for VIX, and not even young VIX. So young heads, it used to be the case, people are like, do you have young heads? And I just shut up the shop. So you can see from my picture, if you are watching this and not listening, that I've got a stack of young heads. I actually thought I had more. Turns out I've either lost them or I can't count. It's probably the latter. You can't lose sovereigns, although I lost a 2 peso coin recently on the floor and I can't find that. So that's 50, 60 pounds down the drain. I will find it in time. So it used to be that people would say, oh, do you have a young head? And I was giving away my best stock. I was like, actually, there's a clear trend towards the fact that people just want young heads if they have a choice. So you've got two things. You can either store them or you can raise the prices. In the end, I initially went for I'll raise the prices, and I noticed that there was a trend amongst other dealers in the UK who were doing the same. So it wasn't just me. I don't think I copied them. I can't remember if I raised my prices or they raised their prices. That confirmed what I did. I can't remember what way round it was, but it was a while back that they started to do this. Before, you could just buy them for the price of a normal sovereign. What I have been noticing though is that people are going for any VIX now. It's not just the young heads. So maybe there's a case to say, well, actually, sovereigns have a tiering system in terms of pricing. And if people are constantly going for other Victorias, increasing the pricing on the other Victorias as well. I tend to deal with sovereigns just as bullion. Take aside the shields and the young heads. I just price them. I'm not really concerned on condition. I know I'm doing it wrong. I know I should be charging more for the better stuff because people will pay it. But I just like to get my coins in and get them out. I have a plentiful supply of sovereigns. You know, I get sovereigns from 3 different suppliers. They get lots of them. I very rarely see the halves. That's a story for another day. But if there is a clear trend of other people going to VIX, the other Victoria heads, maybe there will be a price increase. Maybe that's where we are heading. We've already had it on one of the Victorias. So my level of thinking is, well, if there is a clear want and need for those heads, I might just start another tube and fill one of them. They're a lot easier to get in than the young heads, believe it or not, even though they're over less years. Like the young heads they're getting scarcer, that's for sure. I used to get a lot more. I don't get them as often as I used to. So, for example, I just bought 25 sovereigns in. In a prior time, I'd receive 25. 10% of them might be young heads. I've had none. So I had a shipment the other day. I had 3 young heads. One of them was beaten up, and that did okay, you know. But in terms of overall availability of young heads, it's just not there. In terms of availability of the other Victorias, it is there. I see them semi-frequently, and if I have a choice, I'll pick them up over the Kings or the Elizabeths. Now, the Elizabeths are nice because they do come in good quality. You very rarely see them beaten up. However, they're just a bullion coin, really. That having a great condition Elizabeth doesn't really mean much. In terms of the Kings, so Edwards, it's always been seen as bullion. And also in terms of George, again, most of that is just bullion due to the sheer quantity of coins that were minted. If you look at some of the South African coins, they're going up to like 25, 30 million mintage in some cases. Even on the London Mint, occasionally they're in that amount for this particular king. They're never going to have the appreciation of prices. So maybe it is beneficial as an individual, both myself and as customers, to kind of gravitate towards certain things. It won't be the bottom 3. It won't be your Edwards, your Georges or your Elizabeths. But if you can pick up the other sovereigns and you can get them for bullion prices or the same price, it's certainly easy to see why people are gravitating towards that. I might play around the market. I haven't decided. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think there is a clear trend? Do you do it yourself? Have you noticed that other people constantly want the older coins? I always get people asking me for certain dates, and the dates are either Elizabeth or they're the older ones. It's very rare that I will get asked for dates for Edward and George. Elizabeth tends to be popular because there's people that are born from those years, so that's not so much an issue. But I don't charge more for it. But if there is a pricing opportunity to charge more for not only the young heads, which I do if I do sell them, I'm not selling them. I want to fill a tube first. If there is a pricing opportunity to get some Victorias in cheap and then in time grow them, I'll keep them as a reserve coin. It's not a problem, and it's forward thinking that will allow you to outcompete the market. If everyone's buying bullion and you're paying like for like, and you think there's a trend and you agree with what I've said, it's not a competition. I might be wrong, you know. But if it does happen, you're going to be quids in when you do come to sell, if that trend does come true. It's just about picking your battles and realizing that some battles are going to have more spoils of wars than others. You know, you're going to do well on sovereigns anyway. And it depends where you sell. So if you're selling to a dealer, it's not really going to matter. If you're selling peer-to-peer, you know, as you know, my channel is all about peer-to-peer selling. It's all about the idea that gold and silver is in the process of constantly going up and down in an upward fashion due to money printing and inflation. If you are a peer-to-peer seller and you follow the principle that I've been following and the ideas that how I see the world, and you don't have to, it makes sense to buy certain subsections of sovereigns. If you don't, and it doesn't matter, like just buy what's cheapest, just buy what you like. If it looks good, buy it. You know, the coins in front of you, some of them are really nice. The Queen Victorias are beaten up. However, it's not always apples for apples. Anyway, that's it for my podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. That was actually a really quick 9.5 minutes, believe it or not. If you do enjoy my content, you know how to support me. Please support me. You know, that sounded really needy actually. Like I do have big plans on where I want to take this. There's a lot of information that I've kind of learned over the years, both through academia and being in business, that I want to kind of give to people. I don't think you should charge for education. And if you should charge for education, it should be done via a third party, such as advertisement. Hey. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you do like it, please like, comment and subscribe. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.